I know you gonna dig this.
Shot through the heart, and you're too late.
Darling, you give love a bad name. What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? This video is going to be probably short because I can't get in the building. It's closed. I knew that. It is COVID time. So it's very difficult to get inside a lot of places.
COVID-19!
But this place, this building, the amount of music history that occurred in this nondescript warehouse at the corner of Columbia and 7th here in Vancouver is incredible. It blows my mind. So many of my favorite bands, so many probably of your favorite bands have recorded. Like, not only have they recorded here, but they recorded like their biggest albums here. This is formerly Little Mountain Sound Studios, right here behind me. And everybody in the 80s and 90s recorded here with Bruce Fairbairn, Bob Rock. Bob Rock, one of the biggest rock producers of all time. His name's Bob Rock, he better be. And this building had everyone. Bryan Adams recorded part of Reckless here, okay? Then Bon Jovi
Shot through the heart, and you're too late.
recorded Slippery When Wet, New Jersey, and Keeping the Faith, all here. Aerosmith, when they were on the decline, they came here and they had a resurgence because they recorded Permanent Vacation, Get a Grip, and Pump here. Lee Roth, Poison did Flesh and Blood, which is one of my favorite albums as a kid. I love that album. With Unskinny Bop, Something to Believe in, all here. Life Goes On, great song. Ride the Wind, another great song. And this wall here, oh, and one of my favorite bands, The Cult, recorded Sonic Temple inside this building. The Cult were in here. Ian Astbury, Stephen Duffy.
Shot through the heart, and you're too late.
Stop it! Ian Astbury, Stephen Duffy, in this building right here. Music history at a level, I don't know, at a big level. This wall here used to be covered in graffiti, and they got in a lot of trouble with it with the city, and now it's a nice kind of mural that's been done here. But if you were to scratch away at this paint, people, once they found out that all those bands were recording these albums here, they would come and cover the graffiti. Fans would hang out in front of here all the time. Now, Bon Jovi, like I said, they recorded Slippery When Wet, which I didn't know Slippery When Wet is a tribute to Vancouver strip clubs because shower shows were popular at the time. I didn't know that. I do shower shows every morning for myself. But they have, so Slippery When Wet refers to the pole. And the poles on the strip clubs down in Vancouver. I'll take you there later. And then they came back and they did, New Jersey, then Keeping the Faith. Come on. I love sound studios. I love recording studios. I wish I could go inside, take a look around. It's now GGRP Studios, another type of studio. And I just would love to be able to go into one of those studios and sit there and just soak in the atmosphere, knowing that all these big bands are inside this building. It's a famous photo of Aerosmith that a writer for one of the Vancouver papers, he was driving by, and Aerosmith, Steven Tyler was probably inside or somewhere detoxing. They were just sitting outside, and it was taken right here. Famous photo. Taken right about here. Now the outside's changed a bit, but yeah, it was right here.
Going down.
Now, like I said, fans would congregate here all the time. And the back alley, as at any studio or club where bands play, the action always takes place in the back alley. Let's go take a look at that famous back alley, because this is where the musicians would come. But then all the fans would start coming here, so the musicians had nowhere to hang out because they were besieged by fans. So let's take a little walk around and see what the alley looks like today. I'm sure it's cleaned up quite a bit from back then. Lee Roth, he recorded some stuff here. Van Halen recorded their Balance album here. I'm going to be forgetting a few bands, but I mean, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Bryan Adams, Everybody. Poison. Right here. This is the back. The famous back alley where they'd hang out. Probably coming out right out of that door. Or that one. And it would be loud back here. This is the equivalent of like a recording studio on the Sunset Strip in LA. This is Vancouver, and this was like the place to come for rock musicians. To come here and record at this location. Just this little building in the middle of Vancouver. I love it.
But the key part was the loading bay. That's where they would put the microphones when they were recording drums.
And this typically would be about where we would set up the drum kit. And there's a doorway here that leads out to a loading bay. We used to have baffles, big kind of shields like this. What we would do is we'd set up a couple of stereo mics kind of here, shooting off into the corners, so the sound of the drum would come in, and we'd get that ambient sound of the drums.
Yeah, have you heard of an album called Dr. Feelgood by Mötley Crüe? Right in there. Have you heard of an album called Metallica by Metallica? In here.
Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my son to include everyone.
Have you heard Don't Cry for Me, Argentina by Olivia Newton-John? You're not. In there. So they weren't just rock, Sandy came here and recorded. Look at this wall. Look how impressive it is. It's huge. Thinking of all the bands that were in here, it just blows my mind. I could go and sit, curated by Penny Lane. Bunny Love Rocks. Like gorgeous mural on the outside, but I would like to scrape away at that paint and find all the old graffiti. People wrote Poison sucks more than once, I've heard. Poison does not suck. Poison does not suck. They don't suck. I feel like I'm arguing with myself now because I know that people are going to say, yeah, they do suck. Flesh and Blood's a great rock album, man. The first few albums talk dirty to me and open up and say, oh, great. But Flesh and Blood just has everything. It's got blues, it's got rock, it's got like 3 power ballads. Come on. Normally rock albums only have 1 or 2 power ballads. They got 3 on that one. Wait. Well, Some to Believe in Life goes on. I'm sure they have a 3rd.
I tuck you in, warm within, keep you free from sin, till the Sandman he comes.
Yeah, this is formerly Little Mountain Sound Studios here in British Columbia. And it's just the outside of a building, but to me, this is really cool just to see it. What happened inside here? How much cocaine was ingested in this building? How much alcohol? Aerosmith was on detox while they were here. They were coming off of they were coming off everything, but the other bands, it kind of became known as a place to go to when you're in, if you're in recovery at a certain point. It became known more for that, and then more bands started coming based on that as a place to get away from the LA scene or New York. But I'm sure a lot of partying went on inside this building at various points. Mötley Crüe recorded Dr. Feelgood in here. I'm sure a lot of partying went on in here. Mötley Crüe, come on. They're not baking cakes, people. That's not sugar on the table. Oh, he's the one that called Dr. Feelgood. There's a few studios in here still, and they do a lot of voiceover work and stuff. And yeah, it's just impossible to get into the places like this, private businesses, during COVID time. Hopefully I'll make it back to Vancouver at some point and be able to get inside and show you what it's like inside there. That would be a dream. All right, so a bit of a different thing for me, just to walk around the outside of a building and talk about it, but I really wanted to show you it, and I really wanted to see it, so I made a special stop just to see the former Little Mountain Sound Studios. Right there. John Bon Jovi, JBJ, Bret Michaels, Steven Tyler, Vince Neil, Tommy Lee, Bryan Adams, Olivia Newton-John. All right, peace out.